Hello, today I'm going to show you how to hide and cover up some of these lines here with the foam pieces glued together. And again, what you need to do that is this, probably the best thing I found is a lightweight spackling. You can get it at any hardware store or home improvement center. I'll just go ahead and get started. Now in this area here, I'm doing it before I paint anything, and you just go ahead and put a dab on your finger. Just kind of do like, just dab it on. You want to smooth it down. I mean, you don't want to do something like that and smooth it down too much like that, because you don't want to change the texture of your rocks too much. So just kind of just a quick dab in and around where you see, or at least you think the lines between the rocks are fairly obvious, and if they're fairly pronounced, sometimes you get this little lip of glue that kind of sticks out. You can always pinch a little bit off with your fingernail, or I'll try to get rid of some of that overhang, and that's not going to hurt anything to do that. So I'll take a little bit off there, try to cover up the fact that you've created your hills with two pieces of foam stuck together. You want to keep that illusion that it's all just one big solid piece of rock. And that's not too bad. That might be look okay over there. See right there, you can see that line. That's going to show up when you paint it. I mean, granted, once you put your soils and your grasses on there, or whatever you're going to put on there for cover, some of these lines will get covered up, but they do tend to kind of show up in any cliff faces that you have. So I just want to go ahead and now, like I said, you can put your spackling on in this phase here before you actually paint anything. But if you bought a whole ton of flat latex paint, I personally prefer to put my spackling on after I painted my first coat of base color, because it's actually easier to see what needs to be covered up that way. And I'll show you an example of that next in the next clip. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to cover up lines on the surfaces that are already painted. And like I say, to me, I prefer to try to cover over these lines after it's been painted, because it gives me an idea what needs to be done and what doesn't, because sometimes the foam comes together in a way where it's just not noticeable at those lines. Like for example here, you can probably hardly see anything there in the way of lines where the foam pieces meet. And over here, those look more pronounced. So let's go ahead and just dab it on. Try to cover it up. And one thing you need to keep in mind is when you put this spackle on, it kind of changes texture. I mean, you try to keep the coating as rough as you can, but it does basically change the texture of the rock a little bit. It kind of smooths it out. So I didn't mention it back there, but what you want to do is just go ahead and just randomly put some spackling on your rock elsewhere, just kind of all over randomly, just because, you know, when you do paint it, you will notice the line, you know, the spackling you put on there, because the texture is a little bit different. And also you'll just kind of want to kind of doctor up the whole rock face here and here, just to make it, you know, give it, you know, continuity. So, and nice thing is, you know, once I paint over this again, I can find those spots that I missed or didn't quite come out right, and just do a little, hit a little little spackling on there, and then just paint over those small spots until I get the surface that looks consistent. You don't see any lines anywhere, and if you really find some glue kind of hanging out there, just this lip, this edge of glue, always take a putty knife, just kind of dig it out. Just kind of cut it off, dig it out. It's okay. Take a little piece over there. Let's go ahead and just cover that up a little bit. Just like that. So you paint over it again, and you'll have a uniform and consistent rock surface. So again, disguising the fact that this is all make-believe rock made out of foam layers. So this is almost ready for painting. I'll finish doing the rest and then paint it and then show you the end results. So, okay, I'm pushing my luck here this evening. It's Halloween. Let's see if I can get some of this stuff painted. And I've got all the spackling done. It takes about 20 minutes, half an hour for the spackling to dry. Then it's dry enough to paint over. Just go ahead. Take your flat paint, just go ahead and go over everything, get in all the nooks and crannies. And you can see spackling did a good job hiding where the two pieces of foam meet together. And if you excuse me, you still see some areas where you can still see the line. You can either take a putty knife and maybe chip some of it away and chip into the foam a little bit and then go over the brush, or else just go over with some more spackling and just cover it over again with your base coat, and that'll get everything looking pretty spiffy. So go ahead and be generous with your paint and put it on. Say if you're doing a lot of mountains, get a lot of base, a gallon at least. By doing it a quart at a time, it'll be a lot more expensive in the long run. And make sure you put tape over your track. I use this, I'm not sure what kind of Scotch 3M blue painter's tape. It's supposed to minimize the amount of goo that ends up on your rail. So